Hello everyone, I'm Eel, and today we're going over part 4 of what car should I buy. And I'm going to focus on the topic of utility. One of the most common vehicles owned in the United States are pickup trucks. And there's a variety of different sizes, kinds, features, bed sizes, cab sizes, etc. But I think they're so popular because of what you could do with them. They're really all that you might ever need. At least that's how we all think. Now, most of that is true. You can tow with a truck. You can haul stuff with a truck. You can load it up with large objects because of the bed, and you probably won't get stuck off road if you've got 4x4 and a nice big engine, etc. So it's a solid vehicle. It's a reliable kind of vehicle to own. Now, I would argue in the camp that you might be better off with a full-size SUV, and of course, I continue to push the Toyota Sequoia as like the be-all, end-all of everything you'll ever need. But that's kind of how I stand, and mostly because I don't think that people need truck beds as much as they think they do. I think you'll find yourself needing the seating or the enclosed cabin with, more length to it that you would find in a full-size SUV than you would find in a truck. And of course, you could get those shells and stuff, but I think you might find more benefit in having storage that is linked to the cabin than not. And if you needed to load up with anything oversized or stuff that you don't want in the cabin of your vehicle, you could always, tow around a trailer, and that kind of SUV is built for that. So, if you ever needed that, is my point, you could make it happen. Of course, it might cost a little bit more depending on what you go with on those options. But my point is, I think there's an illusion that you need a truck, but you might actually want to think about whether that's true or not for you. Now, of course, there are some people who absolutely need a truck, whether that's for work or the kinds of hobbies that they partake in, and you really need that bed. Or perhaps you plan on towing something ginormous that you couldn't pull with a normal hitch, like a fifth wheel or something like that, where you need a gooseneck attachment. Then you would need a truck bed to accommodate that. If you need all those things, then you might want to figure out what truck you should buy. So, what would that be? Well, for those absolute extreme needs, especially the towing of super heavy stuff, 10,000 pounds plus, whatever. There seems to be a consensus in, the opinions that I've collected that diesel engines are going to do a better job at pulling those heavy weights, and be more reliable doing so without failing or some absurd problem. But I personally don't know a lot about diesel engines, but there seems to be a trend that a lot of diesel engines that are out there on the market are just gasoline engines that have been converted to work with diesel. And it seems like those tend not to be the kinds of diesel engines you want to be pulling this kind of weight. So, what engine is out there that's actually designed for that? There seems to be a big fan base for the Cummins diesel engines, and these are pretty much only featured in the US on Dodge Ram trucks. So if I had to get a truck because I need that bed for a gooseneck trailer or towing tons of weight all of the time, or I just, wanted to have a truck, I would probably go with the Dodge Ram, at least 2,500, with that Cummins diesel engine. So consider that option if you're in the market for a truck. And also consider this. Unlike gasoline vehicles, where anything newer than 1975 requires smog testing on a regular basis, and if your vehicle has a hard time keeping up with that, it could cause problems for you. It's a little different with diesel engines. Instead of 1975, the deal is anything after 1997 model year requires those inspections. So, once again, if I was in the market for a diesel truck, I might try to find something 1997 model year or older, so that I have a little bit more freedom with modifications that I might need to make to this vehicle and still comply with the laws in the state of California. Now, you might want to check the laws in your state to see what your best options are. But I imagine most of the people watching my videos live in California, at least right now. And that would be my strategy if I wanted to get a truck. I'd probably get a Dodge Ram 2500 or 3500 with four-wheel drive and a Cummins turbo 6-cylinder engine. That's probably going to be the sweet spot. Now, I don't need a truck like that. I would feel way more comfortable in something like a Toyota Sequoia or a full-size SUV that gives me a lot of the power and features that a truck has, except instead of a bed, it's an enclosed cabin. It has more seating, and usually it's going to fit in a garage easier than a truck, especially if you're attracted to trucks with full-size cabs or long beds. You're probably not going to be able to fit it in your garage, and it's going to be very difficult for you to work on it yourself, as well as just do regular maintenance, at least safely. I'll throw that out there. But anyways, that's my conclusion on that. I'd like to know what you guys think. I will be back with part 5, and I'll see you then. Stay tuned.